All right, Shalom. First, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. We're just gonna get into this lesson. All right, real quick. All right, it's gonna be on the power of the tongue. Okay, and I just got just a few precepts. It's not gonna be a long lesson through the Spirit. All right, and low and to be edifying. All right, unto the elect. All right, so I'm just gonna start off with this first precept. All right, this is Ecclesiasticus chapter 28, verse 14. It says, a backbiting tongue hath disquieted many, and driven them from nation to nation. Strong cities hath it pulled down, and overthrown the houses of great men. All right, and all this from what? A backbiting tongue. All right, because going back to the power of the tongue, all right, the tongue is a very dangerous thing. All right, because the words that come out of a man, all right, can either show integrity, all right, or show dishonor. All right, it basically majority of the time, all right, your image, all right, is based on how you carry yourself, and also what you say. All right, because that's also a part of how you compose yourself, is the words you say. All right, the scriptures talk about knowing when's the right time to say something. Okay, the scriptures also say even a fool is counted wise. All right, when he holdeth his tongue. All right, and so that tongue, man, it's a very dangerous thing, man. That's why before you speak, you always have to think, all right, about what you're about to say before you say it. All right, those of you who are not able to control your emotions, all right, and you just blurt out and blab out whatever comes to mind, especially when you get angry or anything, or emotional. All right, people like that tend to get into situations which is not pleasing to them a lot, because they end up saying certain things that they don't really mean. All right, but at that point it's too late. The damage has already been done. All right, because once the words go out into somebody's ears, man, you know what I'm saying, it affects them. All right, the tongue, man, it's not just, it does more damage than physical. All right, than physically putting your hands on somebody, man. Your words alone can do more damage than that. All right, and why do you think the Most High God is speaking right now? All right, really, the most part of the work in which we do is talking. If you really think about it, when we go out there, what do? We speak. During our sit downs, what do? We speak. All right. How do we edify people? Through the word. By the Most High putting the Spirit on us to speak, because the tongue is a very powerful thing. All right, words and all that comprised together, man, is a very effective thing. All right, because it can affect somebody's emotions. It can affect somebody's. It does basically the internal damage. All right, it affects people internally. All right, and hey, man. So verse 15, it says, a backbiting tongue hath cast out virtuous women, and deprived them of their labors. Whoso hearkeneth unto it shall never find rest, and never dwell quietly. Yeah, So it says, the stroke of the whip maketh marks in the flesh, but the stroke of the tongue breaketh bones. Because guess what? You might get hurt physically. All right, might have the scar on your body. All right, but eventually, it might heal. All right, eventually it'll heal. Let's say it's not that big of a sore. It heals up. It's all gone. You don't see it anymore. All right, over time it'll heal. You might even forget about it. However, the stroke of the tongue breaketh bones, because if somebody says something to you, man, majority that's what sticks the most. All right, that's what sticks the most, man, because through all your years, depending on how harsh it was, or how bad it affected you, or how good it affected you, all right, you will always remember that. All right, you always remember those words, all right, depending on how much it affected you, whether it was in a positive or negative way. All right, but point is, you'll remember those words, all right, more than you remember that the scar that you got. Okay, so it says, verse 18, many have fallen by the edge of the sword, but not so many as have fallen by the tongue. All right, and that's a that's a very, very deep precept right there, man. All right, you have to really sit back and think about it, man. With all the all the death and calamities that have gone on, and people dying by the sword, man. It says not so many as have fallen by the tongue. All right, because a lot of situations which end up with people getting hurt, all right, or people getting killed, it starts off with the tongue, man, with what people say. All right, and people, if you know how to use your tongue, all right, if you know how to correctly diffuse a certain situation, all right, when you like, even in like with people who are trying to commit suicide, you have those, you know what I mean, those specialists who talk to them a certain kind of way, all right, to calm them down so they can prevent a situation like that, you know. Or even if somebody's being hostile, all right, the way you oh man, matter of fact, let me get the precept on that. All right, the way you handle that can divert the situation. Proverbs 15 verse 1: a soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. All right, a soft answer turneth away wrath, man. And the scriptures say the mouth of a fool calleth for many strokes. All right, because guess what, man? A fool does not know how to control his tongue. So he says whatever comes out of his mouth, and it could offend the wrong person. All right, and guess what? Now he's getting some strokes. All right, he's getting, he's getting beat up. You know what I mean? Getting punched in the face and all of that. Okay, all by the words he said. It says here, verse 2: the tongue of the wise useth knowledge aright, but the mouth of fools poureth out foolishness. All right. So the tongue of the wise useth knowledge aright, and that's why, especially being in this truth, you have to really think about what you say before you say it, man. Because certain things you can't take back, certain things you say you can't unsay. That's why the Lord says, "Not what goes into a man that defiles him, but what comes out of a man." All right, certain things that you might, you might say, all right, it goes a long way. Yeah, all right, it goes to show who you really are, all right, and what you're really like. Okay. Next precept. All right, because hey, man, the tongue is a very powerful thing, man. All right, the Lord said what? He'll make our I can't remember it verbatim, but it's along the lines of making the words of our mouth fire. All right, and these people wood or chaff or something along those lines. Okay, because the power in which we're using right now is coming from the words we're speaking, the words of the Heavenly Father in the name of His Son. All right, but all we have to do is really just talk. All right, and the Spirit does all the work. All right, goes to show you the power of the, all right. So it says, this is Sirach chapter 20. All right, Sirach, or Book of Ecclesiasticus chapter 20 verse 18. It says, to slip upon, it says, to slip upon a pavement is better than to slip with the tongue. All right. To slip upon a pavement is better than to slip with the tongue, because you slip on a pavement, all right, you might not get hurt, whatever. It might be in a situation where nobody's there. You get up, you dust yourself off, you look left, right, you good. You know what I mean, you keep it pushing. All right, a couple, it will be like it never happened. All right, but when you slip with the tongue, man, that stays, man. All right, because you might be in public, you might say something wild. All right, you know what I'm saying? You might forget about it maybe down a couple days down the line, but whoever you said it to is gonna remember. All right, and they'll bring it up, and it'll come right back into your mind. All right, because once you slip up and you say something, all right, it changes the way people perceive you. All right, the way people see you. All right, and there's a balance to it. It's not only just negatives, but there's also positives. All right. However, majority of the time it's a negative way, because people are not able to control the words of their mouth. All right, they're not able to control their spirit and rule their emotions. All right, or rule their emotions and control rule their spirit and control their emotions. That they just blurt out whatever whatever comes to mind, especially when you're angry. All right, or upset. It says, "So the fall of the wicked shall come speedily." All right, it says, an unseasonable tale will always be in the mouth of the unwise. All right, an unseasonable tale. Okay, because they don't know when to say something. All right. Verse 20, a wise sentence shall be rejected when it cometh out of a fool's mouth. And real quick, how would somebody know if you're a fool or not? By the words you speaking, by your tongue. Okay? If you're quiet and whenever you speak with knowledge, because you know what I mean, you're quick to listen, all right, quicker to listen than to blab your mouth, all right, you'll be perceived as a wise man. All right? It says there we go. A wise sentence shall be rejected when it cometh out of a fool's mouth, for he will not speak it in due season. Okay? He will not speak it in due season, man. And that's all a part of this knowledge, man. Being able to read the atmosphere, all right? Being able to you know what I mean, know how to go about certain things, being able to be flexible and adjust to different situations. All right? We know we've been taught, all right? We've been taught what we've been taught, okay? So that when we go and we face different situations, we know how to assess and analyze, all right, and maneuver within those situations, man. Okay? You don't learn what addition, all right? You don't learn 1 + 1, all right? Just to, you know what I mean? Let's say you see a question that says 2 + 3, you gonna say the answer is 2 because 1 + 1 = 2? No, you learn 1 + 1 = 2, so now you know how to add. All right, that doesn't mean all the questions that you're gonna face are gonna be 1 + 1. It just means now you're able to go about solving different equations and different problems because you have the basics, you have the structure, the foundation of knowing how to do the addition. All right, how to do the math. All right, so you know you got to be flexible in knowing how to conduct yourself, and the main part is knowing what to say, when to say it, and how to say it. Okay. So I'm gonna get this last precept. This is Proverbs, okay, chapter 18, verse 21. All right, it says, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof." Okay, death and life are in the power of the tongue. All right, going to show you just how powerful the tongue is, man. And just how much of an effect your words can have on somebody. All right, look at the elect, man. How you think the elect is gonna be gathered, man? How you think the elect are waking up? How you think brothers are coming to the truth, going out there teaching and prophesying? Is all through the words. All right, the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua first and foremost, but the words. All right, the words of the prophets of the Lord are going out. Okay, and it's causing such a big change, man. The vibration, all right. And each day, this place, Babylon is going down, and the elect are waking up. All right, all by the words, man. Just like the Lord said, His word shall not His word that goeth out shall not return to Him void. All right. Death and life are in the power of a tongue. And for example, man, you have certain instances where people will commit suicide off of what somebody says to them. All right, just because of what somebody says. Hey, it might have been a joke, but you know what I mean, to the person on the receiving end, they might not have taken it as a joke. Next thing you know, they taking their life just because of something you said. You know, so hey, you know what I mean, brothers, you know what I mean, you gotta realize the power in the words you speak, man. All right, because not everybody is gonna understand what you say the way you say it. You know what I mean, not everybody's gonna understand it the way you understand it. You might say something with an intent, all right. But if you're not clear and if you're not clear and elaborate, and you don't elaborate on what you mean, all right, you don't expound on what you're trying to say, you know, somebody might take it the wrong way. That's why you have to think about, all right, what am I trying to say? You know, how can I put it in the best terms so they can understand the point I'm trying to make and not misunderstand, all right, what I'm trying to say. All right, because hey, man, like the scriptures say that the tongue is a very sharp and powerful thing, man. All right, so be careful with the words that you use and you know what I mean, the things that come out of your mouth. All right, because hey, man, they can make or break you. They can destroy your character, or they can build your character. All right. So hey, you know what I mean, Lord willing, this video is edifying unto the elect. All right, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai.